Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
Okay, here's the expanded YouTube script based on your provided transcript and instructions. Remember to read it with energy and enthusiasm.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
Everyone thinks they know about the WNBA, but I'm about to drop a truth bomb that'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew. We're talking about ticket prices soaring higher than a Steph Curry three-pointer from the parking lot, TV ratings exploding like a Michael Bay movie, and fans practically offering their firstborn child for a courtside seat. Is this basketball, a religious experience, or some new form of economic witchcraft? It's like the perfect storm of LeBron's dominance, Steph's shooting prowess, and Taylor Swift's mega fandom all rolled into one unstoppable phenomenon. And the kicker, this entire frenzy was sparked not by a championship win, but by a single player's return from an injury. One step back onto the court and the whole league did a somersault. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this isn't just hype, it's a full-blown revolution, and you won't look at the WNBA the same way again.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, you know, because she's really talented, especially for being Palangi, you know? She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, like, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, you know, it was going to be Ada Reese's team, which plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
The temperature's rising, and what's fueling the inferno? A few WNBA veterans are throwing some not-so-subtle shade. Hello? Did you miss the memo? More fans mean more money, which means more money for everyone. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just about her dropping 30 points a game. It's about an atmospheric shift. She's not merely a player, she's become the undisputed main character in the league's unfolding saga. Even when she's warming the bench, the numbers don't lie. Merchandise is flying off the shelves like concert tickets. Ratings are climbing faster than stocks, and security is breaking a sweat because the energy in the arena feels less like a basketball game and more like Taylor Swift making a surprise appearance at the Super Bowl halftime show. How does this connect to other things? It's reminiscent of the early days of social media, when established gatekeepers resisted the influx of new voices and perspectives. Why should you care? Because this internal conflict is threatening to derail the league's newfound momentum.
In fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Some WNBA players seem more at ease defending a fast break in their bare feet than acknowledging the transformative impact of Caitlin Clark. You'd think the league would roll out the red carpet for someone who's single-handedly hoisting the entire organization into the national spotlight. It's like a determined point guard chasing down ESPN highlights. But instead of embracing her influence, some players are acting as if Caitlin strolled in, swiped their lunch money, and absconded with their endorsement deals. What were they they really thinking? Probably feeling a mix of frustration, resentment, and maybe a touch of fear that their own achievements were being overshadowed. How does this connect to other things? It's similar to the dynamic you see in many industries when a disruptive innovator challenges the status quo. What's the full story here? There's a long history of talented players who paved the way for the current generation, and they may feel that their contributions are being overlooked.
He is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. And the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever are supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So,
and the weirdest part? Even on nights when her shots aren't falling, Caitlin Clark's gravitational pull remains undiminished. The arenas are still packed to the rafters, even when she's relegated to the sidelines. It's almost as if fans are showing up just to catch a glimpse of her potential appearance. Tell me, who else commands that kind of attention? Certainly not the players who are busy posting passive-aggressive Instagram stories about respecting the vets. Look, we get it. We respect the veterans, but we also respect the 2.5 million viewers who are tuning in to watch Caitlin get triple teamed at half court. What's really happening? Some players seem fundamentally unable to grasp that Clark isn't their rival. She's their elevator, lifting them all to new heights of visibility and financial success. Instead of riding it, they're busy trying to cut the cables, leaving everyone stuck on the ground floor. Beneath the surface, you can sense the side eyes, the guarded body language, and the thinly veiled comments about rookies needing to earn it, because apparently earning it doesn't include being the primary reason your next game is on national television for the first time in over a decade.
For us, it's support system. That shouldn't change. I think, Caitlin knows that she has ears and eyes in the locker room, and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there, and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlin, so I'll take it.
Then, of course, there's the inevitable media frenzy. The moment Clark touches the ball, it's a full-blown spectacle. Experts are losing their minds, and camera angles are so intense they might as well be operated by drones hovering inches above the court. Picture this: ESPN meets National Geographic, tracking the elusive Caitlin in her natural habitat on the hardwood. Social media metrics are soaring into orbit, and casual fans are suddenly debating zone defenses and pick and rolls on TikTok. You'd think the players would be ecstatic about the unprecedented exposure. Instead, you see the subtle shade, the side eyes, and the comments like, "She still has to prove herself." Excuse me? She's proven more in 15 minutes than many teams have proven in 15 seasons. Give me a break. Meanwhile, Caitlin's rising star isn't just about her on-court performance. Even when she's not playing, people are acting like she's about to burst through the tunnel at any moment. Scalpers outside the arena are charging prices that rival Coachella headliners. You know what this reminds me of? It's like when a new superhero movie comes out and everyone's scrambling to get tickets.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
The tension within the league, a delicate dance between admiration and envy, is undeniable, and Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise only amplifies it. The cognitive dissonance is staggering. Yes, we know there have been stars in the WNBA before. Diana Taurasi could probably elbow a brick wall and the wall would apologize. But Clark possesses something that transcends mere basketball skill. It's cultural momentum. It's the same force that propelled Serena Williams and Tiger Woods to global superstardom. It's that rare, unteachable, an unreproducible spark, like lightning trapped in a Gatorade bottle. And no, she's not perfect. Clark gets blocked, she gets stripped, she turns the ball over, but even her mistakes become trending topics. When she takes a charge, Twitter erupts. When she's hip-checked, sports talk radio debates it for days. When she scratches her nose, blogs speculate if she's injured. That's real power, not because she demanded it, but because she earned it. She didn't just arrive, she ignited a movement. If the league had any sense, it would be harnessing that energy instead of trying to downplay it with dismissive press statements and forced confrontations.
A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty. So sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot, and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. Man, she is the complete.
And that's where the real drama is brewing. Even fans who aren't normally tuned into the WNBA are starting to notice the stark contrast in how she's being treated. Is this really how we treat the player who's attracting millions of new viewers to the sport? Apparently, the answer is yes, especially if you're still harboring resentment about being left off the Nike deal shortlist. The irony is thicker than a Chicago deep dish pizza. This should be the easiest alley-oop in history for the league to capitalize on. They could leverage the newfound attention to spotlight all the talented players, boost jersey sales, secure larger TV contracts, and propel the game into a new era of popularity and profitability. Instead, we're witnessing half the league acting as if Clark's rise is an invasion rather than a revolution. Every game she plays, even if she's just warming the bench, the league becomes a bigger story. Yet some players seem more concerned with protecting their turf than with building a lasting legacy. That's the real tragedy here, because this moment could be a golden era for the league.
How crazy was this season versus the seasons past?
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, you know, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. For
the Fever, the team that we've been working on, you know. Let's get real for a second. When the cheers during warm-ups drown out the noise at tip-off, you're not just watching a game, you're witnessing a cultural phenomenon unfold before your eyes. Caitlin Clark didn't single-handedly break the WNBA. She simply reminded everyone just how much bigger and brighter the league could be. And apparently that's a difficult pill to swallow when you've been convinced that the only person with that kind of influence is your agent. Just when you think things couldn't get more surreal, here comes WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, acting as if she personally slam dunked the league into mainstream relevance. She's out here giving PowerPoint presentations titled How I Saved the WNBA, treating Caitlin Clark like some intern responsible for Gatorade logistics on the sidelines. Ma'am, the Caitlin Clark effect isn't just a team-building exercise, it's a cultural earthquake. And while you're busy patting yourself on the back, the real seismic activity is happening on the court, and you're just lucky to be holding onto the rim while the ground trembles beneath you.
Shame on you! Cathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Cathy, about Cathy, for Cathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Cathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
If you really want to test the theory, just remove Caitlin Clark from the equation. Poof, gone. Suddenly, that roaring crowd sounds more like a high school reunion at a silent disco. The ESPN coverage, it'd be buried under cornhole championships and reruns of 2012 bowling tournaments. Ratings? Let's just say they'd be doing the limbo under basement levels. But Kathy's on a tour. Every time she grabs a microphone, it's an opportunity to drop strategic growth initiatives like she's Steve Jobs unveiling the WNBA iPhone. Sure, Kathy. Because the nation suddenly tuned into Indiana Fever games because of your Q2 marketing projections. Nothing screams mainstream appeal quite like the sudden urge to watch teams that, 2 seasons ago, couldn't fill the second row at a bake sale. She's treating Caitlyn like a background dancer in the Beyonce tour of Kathy Saves the WNBA. Meanwhile, the whole operation would still be rehearsing in a YMCA gym if not for Clark's gravity-defying skills that turned the league into a national obsession. Instead of rolling out statues or commemorative plaques, Kathy's pushing speeches about how we've worked really hard behind the scenes for this growth. Behind the scenes? Please. The only thing behind the scenes is the harsh reality check waiting to hit if Caitlin Clark takes a week off.
Yes, man, you guys heard me correctly. None other than Kathy Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month, the chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on and people is tired of it.
Let's be brutally honest. If Caitlin Clark decided to hang up her sneakers tomorrow, the WNBA would come crashing down faster than a player slipping on a wet spot on the court. The reality is, one player has single-handedly dragged the league kicking and screaming into the national spotlight, and now Kathy's out here trying to reframe it as a team effort. This isn't Kathy's grandmaster plan, it's Caitlin's highlight reel, and the league is just lucky enough to be riding shotgun, acting like it called the shots. What do I think? The WNBA should be bubble wrapping Clark between games and hiring Secret Service agents to guard her like she's holding the nuclear launch codes. You don't let the goose-laying golden eggs get hacked to bits every night with referees staring into the cosmic abyss, whistling Kumbaya. Caitlin is the league's economic stimulus package, and the fact that she's being roughhoused like it's a hockey game should trigger a congressional investigation. Forget load management, this is legacy management. She's not just a rookie, she's the main event, the halftime show, and the entire marketing campaign rolled into one.
But Kathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlin Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Briggs' name once. Let's get right into it, because this article, from start to finish, is disgusting.
Here's a thought experiment. Protect the investment. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's fueling an economic revival. She's the reason tickets are flipping on resale apps that look more like Beyonce's scalping sites, and why mainstream media is finally giving the WNBA recognition as a legitimate sports league, not just a niche pastime between horse racing and cornhole. You don't toss that kind of star power into the arena without some form of protection, armor, a security detail, and a referee's whistle that's actually used to keep her safe. So where's the league's official statement denouncing the excessive physicality? Crickets, not a word. Kathy Engelbert is busy polishing her imaginary MVP trophy, while Clark gets trucked at half court like she owes someone rent money. You'd think the league would be on DEFCON 1 doing everything possible to keep their golden girl from limping into press conferences with ice packs strapped to every limb. Instead, it's like they're testing how much abuse she can take before she becomes a walking insurance claim. This is Caitlin Clark's moment, her LeBron, Serena, or Steph Curry breakthrough, and instead of building her cinematic universe, they're letting her get tackled like she wandered into an NFL scrimmage.
Black and white sports supporters, well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. Oh, those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me and other YouTube channels, y'all aren't going to like this. Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it. Everybody else get in the back.
Meanwhile, the very players who should be grateful for their suddenly booming paychecks are throwing elbows like it's 1992 Detroit Pistons cosplay night. It's like they're stuck in a time warp, missing the memo that the game has evolved. Caitlin doesn't need a reality check. She needs security and a highlight reel played before every game with a bold "do not touch" warning flashing across the screen. You know what this season would be without her? A lukewarm decaf latte, bland and forgettable. So give her the recognition she deserves. Shower her with praise, name an award after her, craft a special rulebook just for her, build a hologram statue mid-season, whatever it takes. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just show up, she showed out. It's high time the WNBA treated her like what she truly is, not just a player, but the reason the league's lights are shining so brightly right now. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more hot takes and insightful analysis. And don't forget to check out these other videos on the screen now.